Hello everyone, Milan here, and welcome back to another TPOT prediction video. This one's coming a bit later than usual. Uh, I recorded one a bit ago, but it didn't save properly, so yeah. And I wanted to make another one, but I procrastinate a lot. Even with the things that I actually want to do, because that's what I do. So, last time I was able to correctly predict Ice Cube's elimination, but I got wrong that Pin would be eliminated because I I most of the time I was just going, well, 100% uh Pin is going to be out. It's definitely going to be Pin. Then when I make the prediction, I was like, I've said this, but I think it's actually going to be Tree. It was Pin after all. And in episode 17, both Cloudier and in episode 16, Cloudier lost twice. So they will be having two members of their team be eliminated inside of the next episode of TPOT. So let's see. I think this could go a lot of different ways, but I think most likely the first one safe in the team is Golf Ball. Golf Ball was basically the protagonist of Claudier's story. They were against what Pencil was doing and just sacrificing their teammates, and also saved Donut, and already has a pretty large fan base. So I think Golf Ball will either get the most or the second most votes. I think the second one safe, Pencil. I think Pencil could get eliminated. I think it's possible. But in the end, they have gotten a lot of focus. They debuted not too long ago, and they actually have a story, which is more than we can say for some other characters in this team right now. So I think Pencil would end up being the second safe. Third one safe is Donut. Donut got some of the most screen time out of this team in the episode. And screen time is an important thing, as we saw with characters like basketball. Lack of screen time can get you eliminated. Like Bubble and Post Split is a prime example of lack of screen time equals elimination. Lack of lines is also an important thing, which is probably the main reason for basketball, because like they were there in their team's scenes, but like they didn't do much. They got like 2 or 3 lines in the entire episode. So that didn't help. So I think the bottom three will end up being Winner, Yellowface, and Pillow. So Winner was the second one who Pencil just sacrificed, but they did get a bit of a story with Book, but we haven't had much development for that. Yellowface was let go by Pencil earlier in the episode, but they got more focus on their new story with Taggy. And then Pillow was just being Pillow. I think it's possible that that Pillow gets the second least votes, but either way, I think Pillow is going to be getting eliminated no matter what. As for the other two, I think in the end, screen time matters more than story focus, at least in this example. So I think Winner is going to survive, and then they have their best friend be eliminated. I mean, they still have Book. Well, here's something that I've noticed. There's quite a few examples where some character has another character who is important to their story get eliminated, and then they get eliminated very soon after. Like Rocky losing Cloudy and then getting out pretty soon after. Or Pin losing Coiny and getting out relatively soon after. Or I had another example on my mind, but I forgot it. Cake losing Nelly. Or Puffball losing Fries. I think that a winner. They have Book now, but without Yellowface, Taggy, I don't think will have too much room to develop because they would want to develop the arc between Book and Winner. So that leaves Taggy with no support characters except for potentially Book at times, but I think they would give them more focus, give Book more focus with Winner. Either way, I don't think that they realistically would have Team 2 or Cloudy 8 lose. I think that they will end up having Death Pact yet again and lose. But I think realistically, they would have a character derailment of Marker within the episode because I think they want Tree to make it farther. So, elimination. I think it's obvious that no matter what, Black Hole will be the first safe on their team, followed by Fanny, and then that leaves Tree and Marker as the bottom two. Tree, their team just lost the previous episode, but I think I mean, uh, 2 episodes ago. Wait, 1 episode ago. Actually, it was 2 episodes. No, it was one. Yeah. And Tree was in the bottom two. But during that, Pin ended up giving Tree their golden token. And I think they want Tree to continue in because I don't think they would want to have to end up having Tree be eliminated just a few episodes before the merge and be like, Maka, you can have this token. We've been friends for so long. Oh, thanks, Tree. I think they would rather just derail Marker as a character, make him become extremely one-dimensional, just not get screen time, no lines, just something to kill Marker off because they want the other characters to continue more. But Marker ends up getting kidnapped by one. Then we have So, characters on this team have been getting different levels of development. So let's look at the most recent episode. Bottle was talked about a lot during the episode, but was given little to no screen time inside of it. Just because it was all just a joke about how them hiding behind a door, and that makes them an amazing hider. While TV was popping up everywhere, but not really doing much, kind of just saving people accidentally. Lie and Pen were getting development, and Tense Ball got early out in the challenge, and then Fanny tries to get them to help with the story about trying to stop one. So, I believe the first safe would be Pen, followed by Lie, and Tennis Ball barely escapes the bottom three. That leaves it with TV and Bottle. So TV ends up getting a bit more screen time, but also having a smaller fan base. While Bottle has a bigger fan base, but doesn't get as much screen time. I think characters like Bottle and Marker are kind of similar. Like, they're just goofy characters, but I think in the end, Bottle ends up surviving, and TV's eliminated. I could see Bottle getting eliminated, but I feel like it's more likely that TV would. Uh, so then inside of the episode, I think that they would have it so Team 2 and lose. Yes, just lost, but I think it would be unrealistic for them to have Cloudy 8 lose again. So, on to the next episode. Let's start with Team 2. So, I have been predicting that Grassy would make it very far for a long time, but last episode made the most recent episode made me think different. And they lost their streak of being the first one safe each time, and ended up just being the third safe, and were only around 500 votes from Book, who was in the bottom two. I think the voting order, well, the safety order would end up being Snowball, Book, and then Taggy. So Taggy loses their streak as always being the second one safe, and Grassy gets eliminated. I think they would get kidnapped by one. Actually, no, they wouldn't. To be honest, Marker probably wouldn't even be either. So one hasn't taken anyone for a while, and with the most recent one being Gady and two already struggling with Gady being gone, I don't think they would actually want to have anyone else be taken. Then we have first safe is Lie, then Pen. Bottle and Tennis Ball are the bottom two. Tennis Ball survives. I don't think I really have to explain this. I do not think Bottle can really make it that far. So, time for the last episode before the merge. I don't think they would want Cloudier to lose, but it would make the most sense for them to have Cloudier lose anyway. And I believe that based on where everything is going, they would have Team 2 lose as well. So, let's start off with Team 2. I think this is pretty clear cut here. Taggy would get eliminated. I don't think Taggy can be saved unless they just put Winner aside and have them focus with Book. But even then, that would just mean that it was possible that Book got eliminated instead. But we have seen in some votes that Book can get more votes than Taggy. The most recent episode had Taggy get more, but I believe that with Yellowface's departure and Book getting something with Winner, that that would end up being how it is. Now for Cloudier. First safe is Golf Ball, also safe Pencil. Bottom two are Donut and Winner. Donut, I honestly don't know what they could have been doing for the last few episodes. They could have ended up making a deal with one to get their arms back, but I feel like if that happened, that would just end up making them be part of the Fanny storyline, and even in that storyline, Ice Cube was still eliminated. While Winner would be having development with Book, and that would also mean that they're getting development too. So I think Winner actually ends up surviving over Donut here. At the same time, I think Winner might just be eliminated in the next episode, but if they survive, I think they're probably going to end up making it to the merge. So we have made it to the merge with this cast. I think this is probably the most likely point for the merge. I think it's possible that they end up having another team phase, but I don't see it happening because, as we have seen in other seasons, like BFDI started with 2 teams, then went to 3, then went to the merge. They didn't go back to 2 teams. And, yeah. I think this episode would have a rejoin, but it can't have any of the characters who are in one's plane rejoin because they're still gone. I think actually at this point, I believe that that a few characters have been rescued, but not most of them. I see Belle getting back because I see there being focus on those characters, and Belle doesn't really have too much to do. Barfbag is the leader. Gady is the one which two is worried about. Uh, Needle is the brawn, and Bomby is the comedic relief. But that aside, I think that Needle would end up getting rescued, which characters like Pen are extremely happy about. Eliminate there, I believe. Yeah, right before Razor. So that means that those two characters are eligible for rejoining. But in the end, I don't think it really matters. With everything, I think there are a few main candidates, such as Puffball, Teardrop, Coiny, Remote, Lightning, Fries, maybe even. Potentially Grassy, Pin, Ice Cube, Basketball. But in the end, it's going to be Remote. So that means we have 12 left. And let's see who's up for elimination. I think at this episode, one way or another, Bomby would end up getting to be rescued. But Barfbag is still getting development, and Gady is still gone, making two extremely sad. I think the ones that they would have up for elimination here, obviously, for the ones I'm guessing will be up for elimination in the merge, it is inevitably going to be extremely wrong. But if I did predict it, then that would be crazy. So, first up for elimination, Black Hole. Also up for elimination, Golf Bowl, as well as Lie and Book. Last one up for elimination, Pencil. So I believe that they would, after the merge, have a double elimination because there was just a debut. Because of that, there's also going to be another one who lost, probably, so. Wait, no, that means the entirety of Team 2 that's left is up for elimination. That wouldn't be right. No. Okay. So these 6 are up for elimination. Realistically, the first safe is we all know who. Then, I believe the next safe, Golf Ball. Followed by Lie. Pencil would get some votes, but at the same time, they've been a villain. So that could be bad for them. As we've seen, Leafy's killing Rampage in the final 4 of BFB made them go from the first one safe to eliminated. So, yeah. But at the same time, Pencil hasn't been back for very long, and also they've been like this the entire time. And they also are not inside of BFDIA anymore, so yeah. Book at this point could potentially still be in BFDIA, and also could be splitting votes with Winner. And then Winner, I think they would probably get the least votes out of them, if anything. But Book is also splitting votes with them, which, bad thing. So that means that both Winner and Book get eliminated together. The next ones up for elimination are Snowball, along with Tennis Ball, Pen, Fan Knee, and lastly, Golf Ball again. So, Elimination time. First safe, I would say Snowball, followed by Fanny, and then Pen. Golf Ball and Tennis Ball are the bottom two. Both of them haven't been getting too much story focus. Golf Ball getting more, and Tennis Ball is potentially still in BFDIA. They would also be splitting votes, which not a good thing. I think Golf Ball ends up being safe, and Tennis Ball is eliminated. Then, the contestants who lose the next episode are Black Hole, Tree, Snowball, Lie, and lastly, Fanny. So, we all know who the first one safe is. I would say it would be followed by Snowball. Then I will say Lie. A lot of Death Pact again fans would be voting for Black Hole, even though that he already gets way too many votes, and that could subtract from the vote counts of Fanny and Tree. I think Fanny would end up getting more votes out of the two, but Tree's token ends up saving them, so that ends up resulting in Fanny getting eliminated. And everybody is outraged about it. Next one's up for elimination. We have Pen, Golf Ball, Pencil, and Remote. Oh, also at some point that episode, Barf Bag gets rescued, I guess. So, yeah. But Gatey, of course, is going to still be gone because, yeah. We now have one of these characters get eliminated. I'd say the first safe is Remote. They would definitely be getting some development after rejoining, and this is their first time up after rejoining, so people wouldn't be able to tell like amount of vote counts they would get. So if they don't want Remote to be eliminated again, they would just vote them to be safe. So Remote ends up getting like Black Hole levels amount of votes. Then the next one safe, we have Pen. Golf Ball doesn't really have any other characters left that like them, and Pencil is the same way. I think in the end, Golf Ball ends up narrowly surviving over Pencil, and Penicillin gets eliminated. So this is the episode where one is found and killed. Or they could just flee. Either works, but the silver lining, Gatey is back. Woo! So we're in the final 7. I believe the ones to lose would be Lie, Penny, Black Holy, and Snowbally. So, first 2 safe shouldn't surprise you. And that leaves it down to Lie and Pen. Once again, splitting votes. One of them is doomed, but who? I think it ends up being Lie eliminated right after Pencil. Realistically, I see Lie not just contributing to Penn's story in the end and not getting enough votes. Some Penn fans would be voting for Lie, but not enough. That leaves us in the final 6, where we have the losers of Tree, Golf Ball, Black Hole, and Remote. So first one safe with 2,969,892,103 votes is Black Hole. Next safe is golf ball. And that leaves it down to remote and tree. Last time remote was up for elimination, they got a lot of votes, so some people might just think that they're safe and not vote for them, putting them at risk. And tree, when they got the least votes, it ended up having Fanny get eliminated. So people who like Fanny might not vote for Tree because they would blame Fanny's elimination on Tree. And in the first place, Tree wouldn't even get more votes than Remote. So that spells the end for Tree. Next, we have a Purge challenge. I see realistically they have to do a Purge challenge at some point, just because some characters they don't really want to get to the end, so they have to kind of kill them off. First safe is Pen. Also safe, Golf Ball and Remote. They leave it down to Black Hole and Snowball. Snowball ends up surviving. Black Hole is out. I see them making like a popularity poll or something for the viewers to vote on. So, yeah. Then we have the final four. The one who wins the challenge is Golf Ball. Now to see who is eliminated. I see that Remote ends up being safe because Pen and Snowball are kind of similar in personalities, but in the end, Snowball survives by Pen. Then we have final three. The one who wins, Snowball. And I see the one being eliminated here as Remote. I think Remote could be out in the final four, but more realistically, Remote would be out on the Purge. But I think they would want to get Black Hole out just because they don't want the rest of the season to be too predictable. If anything, a Purge would be sooner. Or just instead of having a character derailment for Marker, they have a character derailment for Black Hole. Or both. Just to be safe, because even if you derail Black Hole's character, how much could you even do? Then we have a filler episode and make it to the finale. Woohoo! We now have the eliminated contestants choose who they would prefer to win. I think Pi and probably all the Death Pact members would end up voting for Golf Ball, just because, like, not agreeing with pencil stuff. Yeah. Bap. 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 I think fries could go either way, but they would vote for Golf Ball. Then Bap. 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 Bop. Boop. Beep. Bape. Bwop. Blip. Then Brip. And blip. Schlip. Slip. Lip. Tip. I think that basketball would end up recognizing that Golf Ball is a valid competitor and vote for them to win. And Robot Flower would agree, and Golf Ball is extremely touched. So then we have Warp, Twerp, Shorp, merp, mlerp, serp, terp, kerp, sherp, nerp, derp, flurp, kerp, serp, chirp, nerp, sherp, lerp, derp, and nerp. Probably a lot less contestants would vote for golf ball to win if it ended up being like this, but who cares? It's also possible that all the Death Pack members just vote the other way because golf ball ended up causing a lot of deaths somehow. But in the end, it wouldn't even matter. I had to breathe, and then I died. So yeah, that's it. Bye.